Example 2. Negative 4/5 x equals 10. Negative 4/5 x equals 10. Here we have a coefficient which is a fraction. The coefficient of x, the thing that keeps x from being by itself, is negative 4/5. Notice that negative 4/5 is a coefficient of x because it is multiplied by x. To eliminate this factor that is multiplied, we can multiply by its reciprocal. The reciprocal of negative 4/5 is 5 over negative 4. 5 over negative 4. Well, 5 over negative 4 is negative 5/4, so that's what we'll multiply by each side of the equation. Negative 5/4 times negative 4/5 x equals negative 5/4 times 10. Notice that when I took the reciprocal of negative 4/5, the sign of the reciprocal is the same as the sign of the original fraction. A negative fraction has a negative reciprocal. The negative sign could be put in the denominator, or out in front, or in the numerator. As always, the preferred position for the minus sign is in the numerator because it is easier to read than having the minus sign in line with the fraction bar where your eye might run them together, and because putting it in the numerator means we're less likely to overlook writing it at all. We'd rather write it at the beginning of our writing of the fraction. Now we can do some canceling. This is reducing by dividing 5 into negative 5 to get negative 1, 5 into 5 to get 1. Divide 4 into 4 to get 1, divide 4 into negative 4 to get negative 1. And that gives us negative 1 times negative 1, which is 1 times x, over 1 times 1, which is 1, 1x over 1, which is just plain x. So on the left-hand side, we have simply x. On the right-hand side, we can do some canceling. We can divide 2 into 4 to get 2, 2 into 10 to get 5, and that gives us negative 25 over 2 as our possible solution. To check it, we'll check negative 25 over 2 by first copying the original problem. Negative 4/5 x equals 10. We make our T format. Negative 4/5 x means we have negative 4/5 times the x value. We're going to fill in negative 25 over 2. On the right side of the wall, we have 10. Now we can do some reducing. 2 into negative 4 gives us negative 2. 2 into 2 gives us 1. 5 into 5 gives us 1. 5 into negative 25 gives us negative 5. And we have negative 2 times negative 5, which is positive 10. On the right, we have 10. The 10s are equal. This checks, which means our answer is indeed x equals negative 25 over 2. One more example to illustrate the multiplication property at work. This example is negative 32 is equal to 8y. Negative 32 is equal to 8y. The y variable is not by itself. It has a coefficient 8. This coefficient is an integer, not a fraction. We can either multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 8 is 1/8. Or we can simply divide both sides by the coefficient. and that's what I prefer. So I have negative 32 divided by 8 equals 8y divided by 8. Divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient of the variable. Negative 32 divided by 8 is negative 4. 8y divided by 8, 8 divided by 8 is 1, and so we get 1y, which is simply y. And so our answer is negative 4 equals y. Of course, if we like, we can swap sides and write y equals negative 4. To check this one, we copy the problem, make the T format. The left side of the wall will have negative 32. The right side has 8 times an expression parentheses to receive the y number. The y number is negative 4, and so we fill in negative 4. And on the left side we get negative 32. On the right, 8 times negative 4, which is also negative 32. This checks, which means that our answer is indeed negative 4. So negative 4 is equal to y, or y is equal to negative 4. Now we need one more group of exercises. Copy these 3 exercises, then stop the tape, work the exercises, and restart the tape to check your answers. Solve each equation. Number 1, negative 2/3 w equals 8. Negative 2/3 w equals 8. Exercise 2, negative 54 equals 9z. Negative 54 equals 9z. And exercise 3, minus m over 7 equals 20. Minus m over 7 equals 20. Be sure you have the exercises copied correctly. Then stop the tape and work the exercises before you restart the tape to check your answers. Your answers should be, for number 1, w equals negative 12. For number 2, z equals negative 6. For number 3, m equals negative 140. If you made mistakes and cannot find where your errors are, be sure to mark on your paper what you need to ask about when you go to the lab. This concludes math tape number 071.